Second segment of the show for today. The topic is the Magdalene House Recovery Ministry, and we have three individuals that have been intimately involved with this recovery ministry. Ms. Greenlee, Ms. Mullins, and Ms. Klinger. All have given us some information in reference to their background, education, and some of their experiences. And now Ms. Mullins has agreed to give us some information in reference to the house itself. That is, some of the individuals who are involved and et cetera, that kind of information. And then Ms. Greenlee and Ms. Klinger will continue that kind of discussion.
Thank you, Dr. Haney. I just wanted to say, you know, for years myself, I am a graduate of the program, and in 1996 was the last time that I went to prison. And before that, there was nothing for the woman that was on the street. And when I went to prison for the last time in 96, in 97, I heard about this program that a priest was running, and that was Reverend Becca Stevens. She's the founder of Magdalene. And when I was admitted, when I was accepted into the program, I went and I just couldn't believe that there was a place that lavished us with, you know, everything that we could ever want to start over. And that was her whole plan, to love on us and let us know that we could. She motivated, inspired, and encouraged us to claim our lives back, you know, from just being on the streets. And I had lost custody of my children, and I worked through all of that and got my back custody. And after staying in this program for 2 years, it was like, I just wanted to let everybody know. And me and Clemmy were partners in crime, so to speak. And we had always said that if we found a way out of that madness, that we would come back and get each other. If she got out first, she would come back and get me. If I got out, I would come back and get her. And so, and that's what I did, because I told Becca, I said, there's so many women that are believing the lie that there's no way out. And she had given me a way out. And so my thing was to go back and find every woman that I knew that was still in the madness, prostituting ourselves, using dope, and, you know, just killing ourselves. So we had just like relinquished life. And so my goal was to go and let everybody know I found a way out. And I did. And after graduating, after staying in the program and going through the treatment, which is definitely needed for all of us, getting therapy and doing sessions with my children and obtaining, you know, custody back of my babies, and going on to be offered a job to work for them. That's what I started out doing, being a residence manager. And I was just telling Becca that we've got to do something. We've got to do something. The women were coming in, and they were, you know, not clear about if it was going to work for them, like I wasn't clear, and finding out that, you know, we did have a shot. And so we went on to, you know, get like job skill training and everything. And so we were going through these classes for Dress for Success and at the Career Center. And when we would go to apply for the jobs, we weren't able to get them because of our records. And so what happened was, I believe God just inspired her to do another program, a cottage industry where our women could go to work. And that's Thistle Farms. And one of the things that I always remember is Becca talking about Thistle Farms, the thistle that grows beside the street. On our streets is like Dickerson Road or in the alleys or whatever. It's like, it's a strong flower, beautiful flower that comes through the concrete. And you know what I'm saying, it turns into a beautiful flower. And that's what happens with our women once they come in and go through the, you know, the various groups that we have for them, and they get therapy and they get back on track as far as being responsible people in the, you know, in society. It's like, hey, we've taken off. We have taken off.
And Ms. Klinger, you would also concur with some of these statements in reference to what the program has done to you and your family. Is that right?
Absolutely. First, I want to say how much I admire the staff, because I admire them for being willing to work with a woman in such a broken state, you know. And then we come in, and after years of these high-risk behaviors and using drugs to cope with feelings, we get our feelings back. We start feeling love, we start feeling pain, and we exhibit those behaviors in like bipolar mood swings, right? Ups and downs, and mine alone just really was, you know, But it's just learning how to cope, and it is about discipline and self-control, and the way we get that is to practice it. Coming in with no discipline and self-control at all. And it's 2 years grace to find your way.
Exactly.
And the best thing about these past 2 years is I remember them. I remember the joy, I remember the pain, I remember a lot of, I was able to figure out where the trauma came from and put timelines on where I went wrong and where I strayed wrong and the bad choices, and I've been able to make good choices. So.
Very good. And of course, Ms. Greenlee, you would concur with that in terms of your own experience, would you not?
Yes, I mean, you know, coming up from my lifestyle in and out of jail, juvenile, prison, from the time I was 12 to the time I was 42 years old, this was like a miracle to me that an organization was out there reaching a hand out for females. You know, I found out that I had been arrested over 200 times during that period in my life, and that was scary for me. But today I give all glory to God, of course, but I give everything to this Magdalene program for me to be where I'm at today.
And it has helped a lot of women. Is that what we're saying?
A lot of women have come through the program. And we just had a graduation. We have a graduation every year since I was in the first group of women. We started with 5 women, and I was one of the first 5. And since '97 to 2012, we've had what about 12 classes.
So the program's about 15 years old.
Exactly.
Is that right? About 15 years old, and it's still doing some
awesome.
And
it's
doing. The thing about Magdalene is that it doesn't receive any state or federal funding, and it's working, and it is thriving. You know, without no state or federal funding, we depend on sales of the products and charitable contributions.
And you've got some products that you wish to sell, and I think that what we'll talk about during this next segment, we've got 10 minutes after this segment to give you an opportunity to talk about how this organization is supported, because we know that in the environment in which we live today, that there is so much cutback in terms of social programs and et cetera. But I think that you have found a method whereby you can support all of these women and be quite prosperous in terms of doing so. And that's what we'll talk about. We'll give you an opportunity during the second segment to talk about that. And I think we've got about 20 seconds before that ends today, but I just want all 3 of you to know that we appreciate you coming by, because I might not have an opportunity to say this during the last segment, but that you're giving us some real information and you're giving encouragement to a large number of women this morning. And of course, we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break.